Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today I want to talk about teasers. It will probably be a while before Season 6 teasers are added into the game, but I wanted to go back and look at the teasers that have happened each season. So Apex do this really cool thing where before each season drops, they kind of put some in-game teasers that tell what we might be getting in the next season. And it started all of the way back in Season 0. And as each season has gone by, the antics have just been one-upped every single time. Like, it's kind of crazy looking back at the first season teaser to the most recent one, which was the teaser for Season 5. Before we go further, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Opera GX. Opera GX is the world's first gaming browser. It's actually just the perfect thing for gaming for so many reasons, and I actually legitimately really cannot stress this enough. Take GX Control, for example. You can limit the CPU or RAM usage of the browser, so valuable resources for gaming are actually going to gaming and aren't being eaten up. I'm sure you know some other browsers just literally eat up your entire memory. Chrome. GX Control on Opera GX puts an end to that. You even have a network limiter so your bandwidth isn't being hogged in the background. Get your whole family to download this thing and you'll never have to worry about someone opening a web page and ruining your pinging game. You also get access to GX Corner where you can see free games, great deals and general gaming news, and that's just the beginning. You can integrate your Twitch, Discord and Messenger accounts straight into the browser and have them pop up on the side, so you can get all the latest Discord stuff from your favorite servers like mine, or even Opera GX's where they run their own weekly Discord giveaways. Also, can I just say how beautiful Opera GX looks? And it's very customizable. Oh, and what about a free VPN and an ad blocker built in? Oh, and an entire Opera add-on store for extensions? Yeah, Opera GX is pretty awesome, so you should definitely download it now. You can check the download link in the description for Opera GX now. And if you're watching from mobile, don't worry, just click the link and put your email in the box and you'll get a download link straight to your email so you can click it on your computer. Let's first look at what happened back in Season 0. There was a teaser for Octane. Now, at the time, Octane was heavily leaked and it was all over the place. So I don't know if this was something they kind of threw in there or if they'd planned it all along, but part of me kind of thinks that they planned it all along, and if it wasn't for the leaks, this teaser would have been so much cooler. So basically there were just jump pads that appeared on the ground near Market, just out of the blue. Nobody really knew what to expect, and there was obviously a lot of people on Reddit just posting, what is this strange thing? It was Octane's jump pad, it was a tease for Octane's abilities. Now, before we jump into the Season 2 teasers, it's really funny. I remember there being like these boxes that were around and people started to post like, just before Season 2 launched, like, oh, is this a Season 2 teaser? And obviously, once again, Watson was leaked and everybody knew about Watson, so everyone was commenting, oh, this looks like an electric box or something. This might be Watson's abilities. And obviously, a lot of people kind of bought onto it, but it was just a random piece of terrain that had been there for a long time, like since the beginning of the game. And it kind of created this theme where as seasons came to an end, people would always look at just the smallest details and think, oh, this must be a teaser, but it usually turned out it wasn't the case. The Season 2 teasers did come in and they came in strong. At first, a small laptop appeared that was facing towards Repulsor, and this was Crypto's laptop. Now, you may remember, Crypto came in Season 3, not Season 2, but Crypto's story did play a big part in Apex Legends all the way back in Season 2, and after the laptop appeared, the Repulsor kind of turned on for a second before it never moved. It turned on and started making these noises, and then it turned off. And during that time, the Leviathan started moving closer and closer to the island. They started moving around. They started posting on Twitter saying these big creatures are getting really agitated. And then, out of nowhere, fliers just appeared on the map, and there were so many posts online like, what are these strange flying creatures just going around? They have loot boxes. Just imagine you're playing one day and then out of the blue there's just these flying things. If you've never played Titanfall before, then it's going to be even stranger. And I think for me this was like the biggest impact any teasers ever had. It just had such a wow factor. It was so strange and it was so blatantly obvious. Like, some of these teasers are really small and most of the community don't actually get to see them or notice them, but the flyers were there. They were everywhere, and yeah, it was definitely a memorable moment. So now we're moving on to the season 3 teasers. So this happened back in season 2 on Kings Canyon, and Crypto was back to hack the arena. Now I can't quite remember the order of things, but I think it started with a big loading screen appearing on some screens across the map, and it slowly counted from 0% to 100%. And when it finally reached 100%, the Apex games were literally hacked, and during like the first ring coming in, the announcer would have this weird hacked voice and it would glitch out.
Round 2, beginning ring countdown. Ring closing completely. Round 2, beginning ring countdown.
People were like, whoa, that's a bit weird. And the banners were hacked too, and there's this load of code on it. And obviously Crypto is doing his thing to hack himself into the games, put his persona in there so that he can get into the games without having to go through the trials of fighting other people. And then finally, the kicker was that Crypto actually appeared in-game in labs in a secret room, the same room where the Wraith audio tape is actually. And obviously that was so cool. It was the first time we saw a legend in-game, sort of as an NPC, and you know, that was such a cool teaser. That was definitely a monumental moment. That was one of my favorite teasers. Now, season 4 was really, really cool because they teased things alongside announcements they made outside of game. Firstly, before all that started, there was a big light in the sky, and it was just so subtle that a lot of people questioned if it was actually anything, but it was the Harvester light as it was coming down to the ground, and of course, in season 4, we got Harvester replacing Fuel Depot. Now, later on, the Meat Forge stories from the Outlands cinematic came out, and of course, we learned that Revenant killed Forge, and his death box actually appeared in game, and you could go check it out. Forge is level 1, by the way, and you could loot it and you'd get this charm from it, and people who did actually loot that box were able to keep that charm. It's a really small, subtle charm, but it's one of my favorites. I like putting it on the Flatline Battle Pass skin from season 4 as well. Finally, there were these big signs saying that there was going to be a future worksite for Hammond Robotics, and there was this little button you could press near Fuel Depot. It would make this holographic Hammond Robotics logo appear, and you could interact with that, and it was just a little tease for where the map changes would be. Now, before we get into the season 5 teasers themselves, we've got to talk about the map teasers. Now, in the past, the map teasers where map changes or town takeovers would happen, you'd usually just have flags, right? You just have flags, and it's pretty much like, okay, an area here is probably going to change in a couple weeks. However, in season 4, it's a little bit different. We had those flags up in Charge Rifle Ridge or Sniper Ridge, and it was for Bloodhound's Trials, but there was also a dead Prowler, which is obviously super exciting because at that time we'd never seen a Prowler in Apex Legends. Everybody knew them from Titanfall, but this moment here was sort of had that same flyer feel to it. You know, it was super. I was so hyped when I saw this the first time. It's definitely very, very exciting to see. So yeah, really good tease. And then we had the season 5 teasers. Now, this one was a bit of a hunt, and it spanned off across a couple weeks, and it was very, very subtle. There were these cards. There were 3 cards in total, and when you put it together, you get this picture of a map that showed Wraith's Labs and Kings Canyon, and obviously now we know that Loba was the one responsible, and Jamie was helping Loba, trying to learn about some secrets under Kings Canyon. Of course, she was hunting for Revenant's head, and it was just a small tease that we're going to go back to Kings Canyon in season 5. But the teasers ended up getting a lot better. After that first teaser, Loba had this small loot banner that would appear in the loot vault under Train. It was just completely empty. All of the loot was gone, and obviously Loba had stolen it, which is really, really cool. It's funny in game now that you can only steal one item, but that wasn't it. There was also a small bracelet in the corner. It was Loba's jump drive bracelet, and if you activated it, you went into this crazy area underground. It was actually under Kings Canyon, and you saw all of these stalkers lined out, and we still haven't seen stalkers in game, by the way, but we did see them in the trailer for season 5. So it's safe to say this was another tease for Kings Canyon and the story that was going to take place. It was just such a cool, spooky teaser. It was one of my favorites. So I'd have to say my favorite was the flyer one because it was just so big and everybody got to see it. The second one was probably the season 5 one with that area underground. It was so spooky and atmospheric. And of course, the third one had to be the whole Revenant and Forge thing because that was really, really cool as well. So that's all of the teasers we have seen so far. We also had that crypto one. It was a simple town takeover teaser for crypto's new map room in Kings Canyon. But we also saw banners on there and it had like a little message in binary, which was kind of cool, but it was not quite as exciting as the other ones. So I'm definitely excited to see what new teasers we get for future seasons and future town takeovers. So that leaves me with one question to you. Which of these teasers were you the most hyped about? Which ones do you remember? Which ones did you maybe miss? Let me know and I'll see you in the comments. And make sure to check out the link in the description to try Opera GX because I really do think that it's a really great browser. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.